Shalom Aleichem and welcome to online Smicha. Today we'll discuss halacha on this week's Parsha, Parshas Behaloscha. In this week's Parsha we read of some of the nisyonos, the test that the Yidden tested the Kvayachol, the Eibishter, by demanding things and kvetching for different things. And the Yidden were kvetching for Zacharnos Hadagash Shalachol b'Mitzrayim. We remember the good times we had in Mitzrayim, the abundance of food and so on. And the Eibishter promises, and the Eibishter talks to Moshe Rabbeinu, who says, collect a group of Zkenim, and you'll see how I'll give the Yiddish people, I'll give them lo yoyim echad toichlun. I'll give them food not only for one day, basar, v'lo yomayim, v'lo chamisha yamim, ad chodesham. I'll give them enough food for a whole full month. Ad asher yetze me'apchem. And then you'll see what they will say then. And Moshe responds and says, "Vayomer Moshe, sheish meis elef raglei am." There are 600,000 walking men, raglei am, the feet of the people. And Mefarshim, the Chassidus for him say that he refers to them now raglei am because at this state, when they started testing the Eibishter, there was no nesius anymore. Everybody was begeder regel. And Eibishter, you're telling them that you'll give all these people basar. Are you going to slaughter, shecht all these animals? Are you going to scoop up, gather together all the fish? It's a shocking statement. It's like Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't trust, doesn't have a munah. The Eibishter is able to do that and feed Klal Yisrael for a month. So Rashi explains there's a machlekes here between Rab Shimon and Rabbi Akiva, and Rab Shimon clearly says chas v'shalom also daite shalois tzadikach. This is not what the Moshe Rabbeinu meant. Simply, if you learn pshat simply, oh Hashem, you're not able to do that. Chas v'shalom. Rather, does it make sense to feed them if you're going to punish them later? If you are thinking that to feed them for a month time and then to prove to them how you're in control and then give them their einish, what for? What's the whole purpose? That's how Rashi explains it. But there's a simple halacha that you learn from this pasuk. When the Torah says about Tzaynu Bakar, when Moshe Rabbeinu says Tzaynu Bakar, he says Tzaynu Bakar yishachet lahem, will be slaughtered for them. Mitzvah of Shechita. When he talks about Gei Hayam, when he talks about the fish, he says Yei Asef Lehem. Now, first of all, why does fish come in here? Why who asked for fish? So the answer is that this is a response to what the Yidden says, so the Eibishter sort of made a compromise between Daga and Basar, and the Eibishter gave the Slav. That's some of Farshim say. But that's why Moshe says the Gei Hayam. The Gei Hayam, but when he speaks about the fish, he says Yei Asef Lahem, will be collected for them. So the Gemara says in Chulin, Mikan, from here we know a din. The Dagim lav b'nei Shechitahem. That when it comes to animals, kosher animals, the only way they become kosher if they're shechted properly. But fish don't have to be shechted. Ela ba'asifa ba'alma sagi. Even just scooping them up, bringing them out is enough, and you're allowed to eat it. You don't have to shecht that fish in any specific way. Some Mefarshim say, how is it meduyik from the words that he says, Yei Asef Lehem? Is it, if l'chayra further on we see that concerning the Slav, it also says this word Yei Asef, and that does need shchita, birds do need shchita. And the answer is given in the same exact pasuk where we speak about Tzaynu Bakar, and we speak about Dagim. And concerning Tzaynu Bakar, it says one expression, Yishachet. And concerning Dagim, it says a different expression, Yei Asef. It's clearly that it's trying to tell you this din, that Dagim has a different form of how to make it eligible or kosher enough for you to eat. And just by asifa, it makes it kosher to eat. So the halacha we find that you don't have to do a specific thing to kasher fish. And therefore, the kasher means to say to make it kosher to eat. So theoretically, there is no din of Aver min achai on a live fish, which does apply by an animal. And anything which has no Aver min achai, there's no din of dam, Isser of dam, and that's why dam dogim is not asur min Torah. Perhaps it's ad maras ayin it is. Nevertheless, it says, even though these are things that the Torah permits. So a person should not acquire within himself the midah of achzorius, of doing these type of things to a live fish. Try not to cut open a live fish as it's alive, but others have different customs. Either you hit it over the head, and so on. And then Poskim also discuss, if you don't need any special process to make the fish kosher, if a fish comes up from the water and it's already dead, or you catch a dead fish, that obviously it has no din of nevela. So it seems to be this is part of a different picture of halachos, of the kashrus part of making it kosher to eat after it has all the simanim that applies by a fish that is not necessarily true by a behema and a chaya. Yashikoyach.